Hi, today I want to talk about all things sourdough. Sourdough baking and the lessons of sourdough baking. Before that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Shonya. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for coming. And if you're returning, I really appreciate you coming back. So today I'm going to talk to you about sourdough baking and the lessons of sourdough baking. And it may not be in the way you think. So, first, I want to introduce you to Bertha. This is Bertha. She's a good friend. I've had Bertha and remnants of Bertha for probably, I'm going to say about 2 years now. If you look anywhere on Pinterest or YouTube or Instagram, you'll see people making sourdough. There's jokes and memes about all different types of women making sourdough bread. And one day, a good friend of mine sent me a meme about women making sourdough. And it made me think, what is it about sourdough that women have flocked to? It is a calling. I gotta tell you, it is a sourdough movement, for lack of better words. Let me tell you about my perspective from sourdough baking, and I'm gonna tell you what you learn from sourdough. When you create something that is beautiful from nothing into something, it is really rewarding. It's just something special about it. And I think that my sourdough journey started during a time where things were out of control, and it was a struggle. And I looked for something that was peaceful. I'm 50 years old. And we live in a crazy, chaotic world, for lack of better words, or for words that I just don't want to say on social media. And I wanted something that makes me feel good, that relaxes me. And in came Bertha. Bertha is named after one of my grandmothers. It is her middle name. And I've had Bertha for about 2 years, but she never had a name because I couldn't figure out, why am I naming sourdough starter? What would you name a sourdough starter? But then I looked at her one day and I'm like, wow, you look like a Bertha. Just kidding. One of my grandmother's name was Bertha. Her middle name was Bertha. I don't know why people tortured their children back in the day and named them things like Bertha, but my sourdough starter reminds me of my grandmother in a way, in a very loving way. When Bertha is small, she's just Bertha, but when she's fed, she turns into Big Bertha. Again, not referencing my grandma. My grandmother was somebody who loved to cook. I used to love to watch her toast pine nuts before she put them in Salisbury steaks. And she did things a little differently. She's actually my husband's biological grandmother, but I claimed her at the time I was 17, and she was mine for the rest of her life. She was mine. So I felt that my starter, who means something to me, is it is a good way to honor grandma. Anyway, enough about that. So, what's the thing with sourdough starter? What's the thing about sourdough? I know my husband's friends at work joke and say, hey, you got a sourdough starter? You got a starter in your fridge? And my husband responded to the one gentleman that said it to him, yeah, actually we do. My wife has maybe 2 starters in the fridge. And he just laughed. He's like, okay, so it's not just my wife. So there's a movement of sourdough. And the feelings behind it is calming, relaxing, emotional. How could anyone be emotional about bread? I think, and I'm speaking for myself, the idea of coming to a time where you made something from scratch. You built something, you created it. So in order to get a good starter, you have to add flour and water every day for 7 days. You take some of it out, the flour and water that's not becoming active into a bubbly starter, and you discard it. Now, me, I put it in a jar and use it for other things. My dog is whining at me. I'm sorry if you can hear him. He just likes my attention. Anyhow, so for 7 days, you mix same equal parts flour, equal parts water. And You discard it each day till you get to some bubbles. See, I think Bertha is a little active right now, but I fed her earlier this morning because I made a loaf of bread. Okay, so that's Bertha. She's bubbly. So it takes 7 days, and sometimes when you try it for the first time, you may not get the activity of the bacteria, the yeast that builds up in your starter. So sometimes you may throw it away because it's no good. But then you start over, and you repeat the process. And when you do, you build something that helps create something amazing and something beautiful. Then you make your dough, and it is relaxing if you're into that sort of thing. I like the stretch and folds. I like to watch it rise. I like to create something out of something that was once nothing, and I watched myself build to it. Why is this crazy lady talking to you about sourdough starter? Okay, so for me, I look for a lesson in anything. And there are lessons to be learned from sourdough baking, other than how to bake it. This video is not a how-to, if you haven't guessed it, on how to make the perfect loaf. But it is an understanding of what you can learn from making the perfect loaf. Perfect for you. Perfect that it tastes, has that nice crunch. There's nothing like a loaf of bread that comes fresh out of the oven, the smell that permeates the house, the watching it rise, and it comes out to this big, beautiful, crusty thing. I think I did put a picture in the thumbnail of one of my first loaves, and it's crusty. And the crazy part about it, if you put your ear close to it, it will sing to you. It makes this beautiful crackling noise as after it comes out of the oven. It starts to cool a little bit, and it sings, and it is so friggin' rewarding. Ladies, if you've never made sourdough, give it a try. You may like it. Anyhow, I'm not just coming on here to tell you my love and adorance of sourdough. Sourdough's a movement, like I said. It's kind of cool because as women, we tend to look for the next thing. Like, we like to craft. Some of us like to craft. Some of us like to clean and organize and decorate a house. But for those who like to make sourdough, it is pretty awesome. I know that some of the people that are going to be watching this video are people that I know personally that make sourdough. I go to a party. I went to a St. Patrick's Day party, ran into a neighbor. You know what she showed me? Her loaves. Yes, just like a man brags about his fish, a woman will brag about her sourdough loaf. So she'll show me pictures of her sourdough. I show her pictures of mine, and it's like, oh, did you try this recipe? Oh, did you try that? It is a connection. It is a fellowship. And I think in the crazy world we live in right now, the average person is looking for connection, kindness, fellowship, peace. I'm trying to get my dog to stop whining at me. Just ignore him. He's well fed and hydrated. He's just likes my attention. He thinks he's a real boy. Anyhow, so I go to a party and I sit and I talk with a neighbor about her sourdough and what new recipes she's tried. I have a loved one who is kind of new into her sourdough journey. It took her a while to get into it. Now she's doing it. And she sends me pictures of her starter. And she'll say, does this look okay? That's not mold, right? My starter's all right. And she tries to create the loaf that she likes. And when it doesn't come out right, she'll switch up the flour. Or, if she's not getting that rise, and we'll talk about it. And I'm like, did you do it in a Dutch oven? Oh, okay. Did you put ice cubes in there? Because, that oven spring is really good when you get that moisture in there. It helps rise your loaf. And we talk about that. And she'll talk about how her starter is not growing, or we discuss temperature and things like that. It may sound ridiculous to somebody who doesn't do that. Or you don't have that thing that you connect with other people on. But it is so cool to have a conversation with someone about something that seems frivolous and mundane, but special to you. Because there's nothing better than serving a piece of warm bread to someone other than yourself and seeing that look on that face, or that sound they make. The connection, the fellowship. One of my best friends, her daughter-in-law just started her sourdough journey. She made this beautiful loaf. She tags me in it on Facebook. She just made a chocolate loaf that looked amazing. She may be watching this too. I hadn't seen her in a long time, and when we started talking about sourdough starter. It was a connection. It was something that we have in common, something that you can share. We don't do Tupperware parties anymore, ladies. So these little things in life where it seems frivolous to some people can be really fun and rewarding for other people. Again, I'm not just telling you this because of my love and adoration for sourdough so that you can understand it. I do have a beautiful loaf rising on my counter as we speak, but it's not about that. It is the essence of a sourdough starter and a sourdough bread, recipes, creating something, the creative part of it, how you may, score it at the end to see what it turns into, how it crisps up the color. Again, I'm not here to just tell you how much I love sourdough. So I'm going to give you 3 lessons in sourdough. 3 lessons in sourdough and how it helps you in life. Yes, sourdough can teach you something in life. Number 1, it can teach you patience and persistence. It takes time to cultivate a starter. It takes time to create one. You have to be patient with that. You have to find patience with the fact that your starter may not grow. You can quit and never try it again, or you can continue to work on it to create your starter. Then you have to make the bread and then the dough. Then you might wait for it to rise, which requires more patience and learning. Your dough can react to your environment, the type of ingredients you make, but you have to be persistent in that, and you have to be patient as you're building something beautiful. In life, in anything that you create in life, it takes patience and perseverance. If everything that we try to accomplish, any goals that we set, we quit because it was too hard, we would never get that beautiful loaf. We would never be able to get that beautiful thing because we gave up on it. The willingness to stick to something when you don't get instant results. If you're trying to make a sourdough loaf, it could take you 2 days. Sometimes you have to start it the day before, but you have to be patient in understanding that you're not going to get that result right away. In life, it takes time and perseverance to get to anything that you want. You don't give up on it. You have to learn to, number 2, you have to learn to adapt and be flexible. Sourdough behaves differently in different environments. If it's too cold in your house, it's going to take a really long time to ferment. Ferment means when it gets to sit and create that nice flavor, and the yeast, the production of the yeast builds up. It gives you this beautiful sour tang and helps it rise. That takes a longer time. It's not like you just put yeast in, commercial yeast in your dough and you have to wait. In life, you have to be flexible. You have to be flexible. You may have to change the type of flour you use. You may have to change the type of grain you use. This may sound ridiculous to the average person, but it is the exact things that we have to do as people, as adults, especially me being a woman over 50. I've come to the conclusion that some things, the best things that come to those are those who wait. That you eventually get what you put in, but you have to be flexible. You have to switch things up. You got to try things out. You try to set a goal and it's not working for you. You have to be flexible enough to change your approach, maybe take a different path to get to where you want to be. Yes, I am still talking about sourdough, but it is about life. We have to adapt to changes. We have to adapt to things that are not in our control. You can do all the beautiful ingredients for your sourdough. You can do all the stretch and folds in the world, and you can have the greatest temperature. And you can put that loaf in the oven, but your result is not guaranteed that it's going to be exactly what you had in your mind. You have to learn to adapt and change. Same thing in life. Number 3. Nurturing and care. And anything that you value, you have to show. Oh, my dog is making some noise back there. I think he went and got his own treats. Little guy, bring it to my mom. I think he has his own treats. So I'm going to make this really quick because he will open. And yes, he's trying to open the bag of treats. So I'm going to hurry up, and wind up before he actually gets them open. It shows the importance of caring for something, cultivating something, watching it grow, nurturing. Anything that you value, it's important, that you want to see get better, you have to nurture it. You have to cultivate it. You have to care for it. I can put my starter in the fridge. because I'm not making bread every day, because I'd be like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Girl if I ate bread every day. So I don't make it every day. So there are times where I have to leave it in the freezer, in the fridge. Yes, he's opening his treats. I really gotta hurry up. So I put the starter in the fridge and I feed it once a week and let it grow. Now, I didn't turn my back on my starter. I didn't give up on it. I just stored it for when I was ready for it. And that's just like anything in life. You have to sometimes put something on the back burner, you put something on the shelf, but you keep it there. You cultivate it, you take care of it. And just like my dog is demanding the treats, my sourdough starter demands a little flour and water and a little love at times. This may be a crazy way to talk about persistence, patience, perseverance, the importance of connection and fellowship. But sourdough is a part of my world. And I looked at it and I said, you know what? There's a lesson to be learned from Bertha. And I need to tell the world about Bertha. And I think the bag of treats just beat him. So I'm going to have to go. Thank you for watching my crazy video. I don't know if you can see his tail in the back. He's a little nut. He's a little nut, and he tried to get my attention because he wanted something. And he said, Mom, you are not cultivating. And he's being persistent, so I'm going to learn something from the dog. You guys have an amazing day. I got to go. Take care. Bye.